Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another Total War Arena News update, or in this case, a Total War Arena News speedrun, because I have already recorded an episode about this article yesterday with the intention of publishing it today. But then, as I was eating my breakfast, literally 10 minutes ago, new news came up that kind of invalidated my video about this one. So, we're going to quickly speedrun this. I'm going to give you a TLDR or TLDW, since you couldn't even watch it, because, well, I'm not going to publish the other video. So yeah, let's just, as I said, speed run through it. Hello commanders, many of you wrote that in your opinion the territory mode in combination with respawn mechanics favors players who care a little about survivability and micro. So first of all, in your opinion, redundant, remove that from the sentence, it's still the same sentence. Let's not dwindle on that. Territory mode in combination with respawn mechanics, as an implication that respawn mechanics is somewhat separate to territory mode. No, territory mode is just inherently tied and inseparable from respawn mechanics. If you remove respawn mechanics from territory mode, it's going to be a shit mode instead. So the respawn mechanics have to be there. And yes, they do favor wave tactics. Essentially, healing is too strong in comparison to things that are supposed to counter healing, such as denying the healing, by, you know, just attacking the units that are trying to heal, respawn timers, and XP. Those things are too weak to properly counter a tactic that is just based on constant respawning. Watch tournaments for more details. Also here, a short announcement. I am working on a video. It's not going to show up for quite a while because I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow. So again, I do not have much time to do this, and CA's PR bullshit really pisses me off at the moment. Well, has been pissing me off since quite some time, and I think I've made it pretty clear. But anyway, continuing on. I'm working on a video about my own patch, where I'm going to put all of my feedback into one place, so that I can, you know, direct everybody to that one video, instead of doing a separate videos and bringing up separate issues in, you know, whenever they come up. And whenever something new comes up, then I can address it as it goes as well. Yeah. You also shared in feedback that your good battle performance doesn't make a big difference overall. That sentence is almost English, so good job with that. But yeah, that's essentially what I said. The things that are supposed to counter healing do not counter healing, and therefore, if you were to quantify that, I know it's very difficult to quantify, but just to illustrate the situation, if let's say you are 50% better than your opponent and you go into a 1v1 with the same units, you being 50% better is not going to translate into you having 50% advantage at the end of the battle, if you know what I mean. It's just, you know, easily quantify. I know there are many other factors to it, but just to illustrate a point, outplaying your opponent doesn't give you as big of a benefit as it should. At least that's how I feel about it. It's the feeling of it. Anyway, where were we? Territory mode is here to stay, but we definitely can and will improve with it to make. Can and will experiment with it to make the game more exciting and fair. Here, another beef. The last change to the game mode itself was, I think, in January, if I remember correctly, so half a year ago. So why you had half a year to experiment? Why didn't you? And then the last balance change, like actual balance, changing some values in units or commanders, that was like 3 or 4 months ago. So for a very long time, we haven't seen a single balance change. Well, excluding the last patch that came a week ago. And the changes were all purely cosmetic, like features or new introduction to the game, like new tutorial, or new friends list that works worse than the previous one. And I'm saying that after getting used to the new one, not after the initial shock. I still think the old one was much better. This one sucks. So, yeah. you definitely had time to experiment, so whatever the hell your balance guy or balance team, I hope it's a team, is doing or are doing, they need to do better, period. Because I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're doing the new faction, which we're going to get into. We want to keep map control as the main objective of the battle, yes, obviously, but it may be useful to add some attrition factor to it. Now, there are a lot of feedback floating around within our community that, hey, maybe keep the respawns, even though a lot of people hate them for no reason, or for the wrong reason. So let's remove respawns, or keep respawns bad, limit them. So, for example, we can only heal a set amount of times per battle. And here I am just coming in and saying, no, that's a terrible idea, and it shouldn't be implemented. For example, imagine a very similar game in that regard, League of Legends. Imagine if you have 5 or 10 deaths allowed per a game. And then what? You play 4v5? In Arena you start playing 9v10? In territory mode it doesn't work. If it was just a single battle and everybody has one life and just capture the base, the old mode essentially, then that works. In this new game mode it doesn't, especially since it's a lot about numbers. So yeah. Hey, let's continue on. Before we start to adjust respawn and healing mechanism, we first want to apply small bonuses to team's score according to battle performance of each player. This is something that I and a lot of other people have also suggested, and they finally implemented. Essentially, it's a system that I know from games like World of Warships and Conqueror's Blade, where in World of Warships, for example, if you sink a battleship, if I remember correctly, I haven't played World of Warships for over a year now. If you sink a battleship, you get 60 points and the enemy team loses 40 points. And whoever gets to 1000 points first wins, or just sinks all the ships or has more points at the end of the timer. But yeah, that's beyond the point. Essentially, we wanted something like that to be introduced in Arena, and now it is. Although it's not just for killing units, it's for all the other actions, which is... well, we'll get to that later after we reach that part. So, this is the part. Battle Performance Bonus Experiment. We decided to add more meaning to decorations you earn for successful actions and combine them with extra territory tickets. This should speed up the battles and give players more satisfaction when they earn decorations. Number of tickets earned with each decoration is subject to balancing, but one thing is sure. Commanders will always be the most important targets, so the bounty for killing them will be the highest. I disagree with that. A number of extra tickets will be added to your team's score as follows. Ambushed 1. Ambush is a surprising flank, so when the enemy unit or your unit has disappeared from the enemy vision for within previous 4 seconds, and then you flank somebody, then it's a surprising flank, even if you disappear for a brief second because you're hidden in a little hole. That also works, because logic. Nuked, when you deal at least 25% of units HP, max HP, within 1 second or less. And that is also bugged. Sometimes it triggers with dealing less than 25% damage. Demolished, that's destroying an artillery piece. Routed, self-explanatory. Eliminated, that's destroying a unit. Saved is when another player's unit, allied unit, would drop below 0 morale, but you increase its morale so it doesn't drop. I don't know exactly how it works, if it's before it drops or after it drops or both, but that's more or less how it works. It's easy to notice if you actually, track it, but in the heat of a battle I never find myself tracking it. And executed, that's killing the commander, and it's worth 5 points. So I disagree that killing the commander is the most important. Killing the commander just gives the person that lost their commander minus 10% to morale, which isn't much. I think eliminating a unit is much more important, and there's much bigger implication on the outcome of the battle, and therefore it should be reflected. Also, these points can sort of be farmed and abused. So yeah, the rebalancing thing should definitely come in sooner rather than later, because it can be quite not nicely abused, let's say, but I'm not going to tell you how. But then again, I already told you that it can be abused, so you're going to look for it if you didn't know how. It may seem that 1 or 2 points will not make a difference when there are 3,500 tickets to collect, but when you multiply it by 10 players on the team, you will see how it impacts the result. Well, I would like to see here a sentence that we've tested it and we found out that on average points coming from these decorations amount to 10 to 20% of the overall point gain. So still, territory control, right, will be 80 to 90%, which is the most important factor, but this contributes a little to the score. And when there are close battles, it can push the scales in your favor, tip the scales in your favor. There we go. Some of the players may consider now to be more careful with their units, to not feed extra tickets to the enemy so easily. It also more important to work together and save allies by helping them to if necessary. That is bullshit, because it's only 2 points. And I know they said multiplying by 10, but it's still only 2 points. And as I said, it's probably going to be like 10 to 20%. Well, I haven't tested that, so I don't know. And there's no really way for me to check, but it doesn't really matter. Well, there is a way for me to check, but I'm not going to because I don't have time. But yeah, territory control, as they said, is still the major thing, and if gaining control of a capture point means sacrificing your units, then you can be sure as hell I am going to do that, and a lot of other people will too, so this will barely matter at all. Continuing on, we want to hear your feedback on this new mechanics and decide if it should be rebalanced, removed or kept. So yes, I have said mostly positive things about this feature, but I would still like to see it removed, because it's bugged. And sometimes, instead of giving you 2 points for killing a unit, it gives you 17,000 or 35,000 even. Yeah, I saw those numbers, and that's instant victory or a loss for a team. So either fix it or remove it. And since I know CA will probably not bother fixing it, then it's easier to ask them to remove something. Like for example, heavy artillery. They're not going to fix heavy artillery. Heavy artillery rework was in the works apparently before Arena shut down, and yeah, still isn't here. So just ask them to remove heavy artillery from the game if you hate it. Well, I scrolled down too much. Faction bonus, new event. We know you all like double rewards weekends. It is a great way to boost your progress and unlock new units, but we can't repeat them every week, as that would be boring, right? Also, what about players who prefer to play during weekdays? Well, I can tell you, it's not that we like double rewards weekends, is that we hate the current progression speed, and that feedback you have been receiving since the very launch of the game in September. The amount of XP we are getting is just nowhere near as good as it was during Wargaming. We are getting pretty much the same amount of XP per battle, true, but battles are 3 to 4 times longer on average. Average arena battle lasts about 20 minutes. The longer ones last over 30 minutes, while the longest an arena battle in Wargaming could last was 50 minutes because that was the hard limit, but on average it would last 7 to 8 minutes, I would say. So half of the time. And the XP is the same for 3 to 4 times less time spent. So yeah. That's why we like double reward weekends, because they are the only taste of normal progression speed that we can get. So get your argumentation straight and maybe do something about it, yeah, and then players who play during weekdays will be happy, and then if you happen to do a double reward weekend every once in a while, then that will be quadruple compared to what we have right now. And I need to attract more players as well. So, how about that? That's your feedback that you wanted, but apparently not about this. I don't know, maybe it says that there as well. Also, another thing that I will mention in my video in the patch notes is that this thing is going to make battles faster. They said it somewhere. Somewhere here. So essentially, if the battle is faster, that means that players who were in that battle go back into matchmaking faster, and then people who are waiting for a battle to finish in matchmaking, for the people to requeue, they're also going to get a battle faster. So shorter battles equals a more populated matchmaking with the same amount of people, essentially. So just shortening matchmaking times. So that's also good. Now, faction bonus new event. Yeah, we're introducing faction bonus event during which you will receive double unit XP, triple actually, while playing promoted faction. It's a great opportunity to start discovering new faction, new factions. If I were to point every single grammar mistake in this, that would be 10 minutes alone on this, so yeah, let's not bother. Or level up some high tier units. First faction to receive the bonus will be Carthage, so you can reach those elephants quicker. Let us know what you think. Oh yeah, there we go. So what I think is that you should tell us how it's exactly going to work. Is it going to be weekly? Is there like always going to be a faction bonus event and it just rotates weekly? Or what is the case? Just tell us, you know. Does it really cost that much to say this weekend will or the factions will rotate on a weekly basis and every week will be a different faction? Is it really so hard to write a single sentence like that and just tell us what's going on? Apparently it is. So yeah, be more transparent and be more clear. And now we arrive on the thing that wasn't clear and actually caused a lot of questions to appear. And it is this. That's it for now, but come back soon for news about new faction that will arrive on 20th of July. And now we have this part of the sentence. That will arrive on 20th of July. But what is that? Is it a new faction or the news about new faction? See, the basic principle, number one principle or rule when writing an article, when writing a news update, when writing an announcement, whatever that is meant to inform somebody about something, is to be clear as possible and to leave no room for misinterpretation, or as little room for misinterpretation as possible. So, how I would write a sentence? Say, that's it for now, come back soon for news that will arrive on 20th of July about new faction, if that's about the news. And that is the conclusion that we have reached, because we also had the resource of cross-referencing the Chinese version here. Obviously it's Google translated into English, but when the news dropped yesterday, we talked about it on Discord, and after consulting somebody who knows Chinese, he confirmed that they mean that the news are dropping on 20th of July, not the new faction. And well, apparently that conclusion was wrong. And it's also gladiators, not Persia. I said it was 50-50 after they said hero, because like neither Cyrus nor Xerxes aren't really considered heroes. Spartacus is. Well, so here he comes, Spartacus, and also Grixis, and also the entire gladiator faction. So yeah, I had a 50-50 shot and I missed. Let's say I'm not too salty about it. And if CA wanted to hype up a new faction, and now I got in their plans because I hyped up Persia instead of gladiators, well, serves you right, CA, because you should have told us a month in advance like you did with China, not literally 6 days in advance. So yeah, fuck you on that, CA. So, let's go read through it. I haven't read through it because, as I said, that those news have arrived as I was eating my breakfast, literally a few minutes ago. Well, as of when I started recording this video, now it's 20 minutes later. The hero of the trapped beast returns strongly and declares war on Rome again. Well, if you say like again now in the game and as in the past was the first uprising, yeah, sure. because there was only one uprising. Dear Commanders, the arena will be updated to version 4.20 on July 20. Yeah, they're definitely smoking something in there, in England. After the update is completed, a new faction, Gladiator, and a new map will be opened. Let's take a sneak peek. Gladiator. And there we go, his helmet. Gladiator, a prisoner of war, slave, or free man from the ancient Roman era, usually armed with daggers, shields, and other weapons for gladiatorial fights. Due to oppression and exploitation in history, Spartacus once led the largest slave uprising in ancient history. Faction commander, Spartacus, there he is. Famous gladiator and military strategist in ancient Rome. As one of the leaders, he led the famous Spartacus uprising in history. Commander skills. Light of Glory, level 1. Make a powerful charge forward. A charge from a certain distance causes strong charge damage. Yeah, sure. Brave Fighter, level 3. Strengthen the aggressiveness of this unit and enhance the defense and morale of nearby friendly forces. Excellent group gain buff. Uprising, level 5. Inspire friendly forces to increase the mobility, offensiveness, defense, and morale of all friendly units in the target area for a long period of time. So yeah, I will try, no promises made, to make a video about Spartacus. I am prepared to make one. The only question is of time. Do I have enough time to do it? Because I'm leaving tomorrow early morning and I still have a lot of stuff to do before I leave. So yeah, I'm already taking that time away to record this video because CA cannot get their PR straight. And now, Crix, which is actually Crixus. Crixus, as one of the leaders, led the slaves to initiate the third larger slave uprising. The uprising directly threatened the whole of Rome. Commander skills. Onslaught, level 1. Attack nearby enemies, inflicting damage to the enemy and knocks down the enemy. In the short time after this, the damage caused by your own unit to the enemy will increase and all attacks that successfully hit the enemy will knock down the enemy. Yeah, sure. So they are very knocked down, twice even. Good incremental damage and excellent controllability. Adrenal hormone soaring, what? Probably it's called just adrenaline in English, I would imagine. Or adrenaline rush or something. Well, that's World of Warships, but maybe just took the name. Temporarily increased movement speed, but is silenced. That's oof. If the unit enters the battle before this effect expires, the unit's melee hits will be improved for a longer period of time. So, like a second phase that triggers only if you enter melee? That's interesting. Well, we'll see in the videos. I played them, but it was quite some time ago, so I don't remember exactly how they were, and yeah, I'm saving that for the videos themselves as well. Invincible, level 5. Improve the defense and morale of your own units. The effect of this ability can be superimposed, and each enemy unit within the range of the ability's effect can have the effect of this ability superimposed once. The effect of this ability can stack up to 9 times. Efficient stackable life-saving skills. It's explained very poorly, but essentially what it is the same thing as Yubei's ultimate ability, which I forgot the name of. Sworn Battle was his second ability. Unity, there we go. That's called Unity. So essentially within the area of the ability, upon its activation it counts allied units. Whereas upon activation is like an aura, I don't remember. But anyway, it counts allied unit within the range of the ability, and the more of them there are, the more powerful the ability is. And it counts up to 9 units. So there we go, that's how it works. Now, faction arms. The Gladiator camp currently has 4 branches of growth trees, including 4 types of arms: infantry with swords, dual-wielding swordsmen, beasts, and spear infantry. Among them, dual-wielding swordsmen and beasts are the characteristic units of the camp. So that's one video made for me already, because I always do those. But all the names are in Chinese. But yeah, I probably not have time to create my own tech tree, as I did with Persia and China before. So there you are. Those are dual wielders. Yeah. icon is really small, but I remember they were only from tier 7 because I already have all the basics to create the tech tree. I just didn't create the tech tree as a image that I could show you, but I have it in a Excel spreadsheet. So yeah, here we have the basic gladiators. Are those the basic gladiators? Yeah, so these are gladiator units, the basic gladiator units. They have 50 men, and these are other swordsman units, but they have 100 men, and they also have slings, except for tier 10, because fuck logic. So yeah, and then we have beast slayers, not beasts. So yeah, these are called beast slayers, and I imagine they have bonus against elephants, dogs, and maybe cavalry. One could assume, I guess. So yeah, that's it for the new faction, but they haven't shown the premium units, which is interesting. And my tech tree has premium units in it as well. Dual wielding swordsman, a melee unit. How do I even say that here? Okay. A melee unit with ultra high output that can sacrifice defense in a short time with skills, but can inflict tons of damage on the opposite side. Yeah, that's the tier 10 one. Beastman or Beast Slayer, a close combat warrior type unit. In addition to balanced output, defense, and survivability, it also has a certain range of long-range output capabilities. That's just a javelin throw, and has 4 stacks. Oh yeah, it's even described here. Yeah. So it's a javelin that can throw 4 times. Barbarians can throw 3. Romans can throw the pillar twice. So there we go. That's essentially it. Oh, so they show only 2 unit types. They don't show the other ones. Okay. Brand new map and background. Mount Vesuvius is a world-famous active volcano located in Europe, and is also known as the most dangerous volcano in Europe. Now Vesuvius is about to join. So yeah, after being very rudely interrupted, brand new map and background. Yeah, leaving for vacation. Yeah. New Vesuvius is about to join Total War Arena to witness the rise of Gladiator again. New map, Mount Vesuvius. Only one screenshot, doesn't show you anything other than the Vesuvius. Obviously you cannot climb it. I mean, would be cool if we could, but we can't. I'm going to show you that map, hopefully, if I have time, to record the video prior to the release of the faction, as I have literally a few hours to do it. New Vesuvius theme background. So yeah, that's essentially the main menu. Okay, so the basic one is the Roman Forum or the Chinese Peach Garden, and this will be a new one that you can buy. On July 20th, the Gladiator will make a comeback. Let us once again call our friends together, take up their weapons in our hands, and fight for freedom. Commanders, please follow the war arena in real time to get first-hand information. We are here or there. Yeah, here or there. Speaking of which, there's this. This is Total War Arena news. You see anything about Gladiator faction in here? You literally have a website called arena.com/news. You announce a new faction, and it's not here. It's on the forum. And you say, we are here and there. Well, you're definitely not there, as in on the news site, which is the most important place to be, and I click a news update. Yeah. So, whatever they're doing, they're not doing a very good job at it. Confusing people with the language, and it's on Google Translate. It's the original English message. So I don't know if they don't have an editor or have an editor that doesn't do their work properly. Whatever the case is, the messages we receive are pretty badly structured, written, and published. All things together. So, speaking of together, get your shit together, CA. Yeah, and with that positive message, I'm living here, and I'll see you on Arena's battlefields and the new videos that I am hopefully going to record today, because if not today, then I'm gone for over a week to climb up some mountains with no internet access whatsoever. But yeah, wish me luck.